Hello friends, welcome to today's class. I have a short little flow that is focusing on the front body. So when you're ready, we are going to begin in child's pose. Your choice of what kind of child's pose you'd like to take. Wide leg, knees in, arms stretching out, arms tucked down at the sides, whatever makes you comfortable here today. And we're just going to land on our mats here, sinking down into this present moment, checking in with the breath, maybe starting to deepen the breath, breathing into the belly, in through the nose and out through the nose. You can let your head just be really heavy here. This weight sinking into the earth. The hips sinking down into the ground. Taking 2 more deep breaths in and out here. Before we get into the main flow. On an inhale, pushing yourself up out of child's pose, walking the knees underneath the hips, and then walking the palms forward to sink the heart down, the chest down into puppy pose, opening up through the chest, through the heart. Find this lovely, big, deep stretch in the front of your body. Maybe the forehead's on the earth, maybe the chin comes down. No need to really push yourself into the deepest possible variation of this pose now. We're just getting started. On an inhale, coming back up into tabletop, and we'll just take a couple of cat-cows here, arching the back, inhaling to look up, exhaling to round through the back, belly sucks in, thinking navel, drawing back towards the spine. Inhale to move through cow, exhale to move through cat. You can move at your own pace here. You can go off piste, taking a few extra movements if you need to. And on an exhale, we're going to lift the hips up and pushing back to downward dog. Walking the dog out to begin with, as always. Giving a bit of love to those hamstrings before coming into stillness. Inhaling deeply here. And exhaling. On an inhale, look forward. Tippy toe to the top of your mat, the half lift. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to lift up, big stretch. Exhale, arms come down to your sides in Tadasana. We're just going to move through some sun salutations here. So if you're new to sun salutations, this might move a little bit quick, but just try to follow along with with my cueing, the sound of my voice, and yeah, see what you can do. Okay, from Tadasana, inhaling, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, stepping back into plank or half plank, lowering down maybe to baby cobra or cobra. Exhaling, pushing back to downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, make your way to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Exhale, arms down to your sides, Tadasana. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back, half plank or plank, lowering down. Maybe you take chaturanga, maybe you come to the belly. Inhale to come through to up dog or cobra. Exhaling to come back to downward dog. Inhale, look forward, step or jump or tiptoe to the top of your mat, half lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms lift up overhead. Exhale, arms come back down to the side. Inhale, arms lift overhead, Urdhva. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back, plank, lowering down, coming up, whatever your variation you pick, and exhaling to come back to downward dog. Inhale, look forward, step forward, half lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, arms lift up overhead. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back to plank or half plank, but the knees are going to come down anyway, and we're going to come into tabletop. From here, we're going to make a transition. I like to cross my ankles, cross my legs, and come to a seated position that way. That might just not be doable or feel good for you. Whichever way, come to sit on the mat. Feet are planted, knees are bent. We are going to set up for boat or navasana, but I'm going to give a couple of options because boat is actually a really, really challenging pose. So, first option, I'm on a little bit of a slope here, so that's going to be interesting. Palms come behind you. Lift one foot up at a time so that the shin is parallel with the mat. Bring it back down. Lift the other foot up. Bring it back down. That is one variation. You can also take the hands away to make it a little bit more difficult. You're using a little bit more of your lower abdomen here. Same thing, lifting one foot and then the other. You are really, sorry, some noises in the forest then. You're really engaging your quads and your hip flexors here just by doing that. So even this is going to be building strength, even though it might seem like it's an easier variation. Another option might be to lift both legs up at the same time. Shins parallel to the floor, knees are bent. So here we're coming, so imagine something attached to the top of your head, drawing you up, you're in a straight line. We're coming just past that vertical. So we're not lying kind of all the way down here. It's just a tad past the vertical so that you can balance your legs lifting up in the air. Trying to keep a bit of length there through the chest so we're not sort of hunching over like a gargoyle. If you want to go further, you can extend the legs as well. So pick whichever suits you today and we're going to hold for 3 breaths in and out. Wonderful. I'm shaking. Don't know if you can see that. On an exhale, your feet are going to come down to the ground, and then we're going to work into a little bit of a dynamic moving between 2 different postures. So we're going to go into purvottasana. So palms are going to come down just behind the hips. 2 options. First, the knees are bent, feet flat on the floor, and we're going to lift our hips up like we do in bridge, lifting them up towards the sky, pushing through the palms, big stretch in the shoulders, and maybe we let the head hang back. Or our legs are extended out, so the weight is pushing down through our heels instead of the whole foot. Toes are pointed, and we're lifting up from here. This one is slightly more challenging, but they're both really hard. Choose your option and stay here for 3 breaths. Releasing on an exhale, then we're going to lift up on an inhale into our boat. Inhaling here in boat, exhaling, transitioning down, legs come down, palms come down, inhaling, lifting up to purvottasana, exhaling, bums come down, inhaling, lifting up into boat. Got it? I'm going to repeat a few more times. Inhale here, exhale, release down to the ground, inhale, lift up, exhaling, release to the ground, inhale, lifting up, exhaling, releasing to the ground, inhaling, lifting up, exhaling, releasing to the ground, inhaling, lifting up, last time, exhale, release to the ground, inhale, lifting up, exhale, release. From here, we're going to inhale the arms up overhead and fold forward. Feel free to keep a nice generous bend in the knees. If you need to give your hammies a bit of extra love, you can let the head hang down. It's a bit of a counter pose. Amazing work. If you were falling out of things, of boat particularly, good, because then that means you're pushing yourself. So just smile at yourself and know that you're still making progress, even when it doesn't feel like you are making progress. Okay. Inhale, come back to Dandasana. Transitioning through to plank, I like to cross my ankles and come forward, but that might not feel good on your knees. From plank, inhaling in position, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Lowering the knees to come into tabletop, and we'll come rising up so that we're kind of standing on our knees, tucking the toes under, and we're going to work into camel pose. So a few variations for camel. If camel is new to you, it can be quite an intense back bend. Really feels like a lot of contraction in the lower back, so really take it easy here. A nice way of working to get into camel is, I don't have a block with me because I'm in the forest, but I've got my water bottle. So I'm putting my water bottle sort of near my ankle, with one hand reaching back to place onto the prop, whatever you have. That might be as far as you go. And that's great because you're pushing your hips forward here and you're getting that back bend. So this might be a really nice option to work towards how camel feels and the flexibility in the back and also the strength. We really want to engage our glutes here to protect the lower back, and then you would do it on the other side as well. Maybe you also lift an arm up, and that can be a way also of feeling a little bit more intensity in the pose. If that feels all right to you and you want to use both hands, we're going to look back, catch a heel or a prop with one hand, then the other, and then open through the chest, letting the neck hang back but gently pushing the hips forward. Easy, gently when you're coming out. Another option, putting the hands on the lower back, so the heel of the palm is pressing into just right at the top of your glutes there, just where the seam is on my shorts, pushing gently into the lower back and letting the head hang back here. You can also take hands into Anjali Mudra, pushing the hips forward and sinking back. Wherever you are, take around 3 breaths. If you've already been in it and you want to come out, just meet us in seated on your heels. Lovely. We will all meet sat on our heels. Just feel the sensations running through your body. It can feel quite intense on the lower back and on the neck. You might feel a rush of energy. You might not like it, in which case, you know, camel's not really the one for you. And then we're just going to come down into a child's pose here. Again, yogi's choice. Pick which one you want to do. I'm going to go wide-legged and then my arms down at my sides. Feel that nice rounding through the lower back. Counterpose to camel. And we're going to be ending today's class here. It was a short and sweet one, but hopefully with some interest, a little bit of movement. You're feeling a little bit energized. If it felt quite frustrating at times, because it was challenging, that is because it's hard. Those poses, navasana, purvottasana, camel, they are really challenging. So just by you giving it a go, that's you challenging yourself and your body to try new things. On an inhale, lift up. Meet me in whatever seated position you fancy, and we'll close the practice here today by inhaling, exhaling, hands come Anjali Mudra at the heart center, inhaling deeply and exhaling completely as we bow our heads down. Namaste.